6 o'clock. All jurors are present except Mr. Blanchard. Let's start off with a prayer. God who teaches us by sending the light of the Holy Spirit into our hearts, grant that by the light of that Holy Spirit, right judgment may be ours, and that we may ever find joy in His guidance.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Mr. President.
Yep. Press a moment of silence for, my father-in-law and Miss Renetta's, dad. And also, to acknowledge a long time, businessman of Assumption Parish, Mr. Dan Ozen that passed, this week. So moment of silence, please. Thank you. All right, first item on agenda, well, public comment period. Any public comment period or anything on the agenda? First call, second call.
Hey, good evening.
Good evening.
Back again.
Good to see you.
Just wanted to clarify a couple items from the last meeting that was mentioned. That was mentioned that the sheriff's office and the school board share the majority of the millage that's collected. And that is correct. To date, this year, sheriff's office has received $7,945,847. Police jury, $4,798,000 and $798,883. Also look at your proposed budget and you get a sales tax. It's projected that you'll collect $6,691 for the sheriff's office and school. But again, if you want to discuss my finance, I really appreciate you being invited because I don't have a problem discussing it. You know, but again, it's like, oh, we get 70% of the millage. What you see there, other than fees I get, that's my budget. Okay? Your projected budget is $24,150,000. So I mean, when you're gonna put it out there, put it all out there. Okay? We talked about, let's see, hang on, I got so much paperwork there. So when you look at those things, I don't know how many employees y'all have. I'm close to 90 full-time employees. Cause I got to cover the parish 24/7.
How many of you guys are?
Right, 90. And, anyone knows that takes care of a big portion of anybody deal with employment, knows that and benefits takes a majority, but I mean, that's just, doesn't matter what business. We talk about cuts, we talk about things. I've come to a number of meetings over the years. I don't get in police jury business. I don't get in school board business. I ran for sheriff. I run sheriff's. That's what I do. But I can tell you, and to Ms. Torres's credit, I've been over the years where she said, you need to look at your spending, you need to look at your spending. But last meeting, it sure sounds like it's mine and the school board's fault. It's like, come on, guys. Y'all get your budget. I get mine. I got to deal with mine. Y'all deal with yours. I'm not here to be critical. It's just, don't try to blame it to somebody, throw the blame to somebody else. You know, and it seems like that's what occurs. Right? There's one correction, Ms. Torres. I know you said about housing inmates at the jail. There was 2 occasions where we housed inmates there. One was a storm, Fairborn Parish's jail was completely demolished. And we put some of their inmates in there. They provided the staff. The second time was actually Ida with Lafourche Parish. They had the same issue. So that's, you know, so I don't want you to think that we housed inmates there and that there were special events, those 2 events. And actually, I reached out to the police jury to do that before we approved. So, you know, we talk about DOC, and if you really want to talk about DOC inmates, I'll make a deal with you. Pay me for the correction officer, you're under constitutional requirement to, but you don't. And I'm not here to ask for that, but I'll give you the DOC fund. It seems like that comes up all the time like it's some big windfall. Well, it's not. I promise you, you'll come out the hole. So if you got questions of me, please, I'm here, ask them. If I can't give you the answer, I'll be happy to go find it. I just, again, we seem to keep being brought up in your meetings when, you know, I don't come and meddle in your business. Then don't put me in yours. Plain and simple. I'd appreciate that. I don't think there's a juror that sit up here I haven't called me that I haven't offered assistance to. I've never turned it down, but you know, don't sit there and keep. I don't want us to keep getting beat up on something when there's the numbers. I do agree. We get between us and the school board, we get like 68%. That was a correct statement, but the way it was stated made it look like, oh, wait, they're taking all the money and we don't get none. That's not the case. But I appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Appreciate it. I think we'll have a personnel.
Everybody's here, you want to do that short?
Yeah. Yeah.
Want to skip?
Yeah, let's go, we're gonna skip 4, we'll come back to 4, we'll go to 5. Discuss personnel matters relative to, APCSC workers, Central Parish Community Center workers, may be held in an executive session.
For any of the member employees that are here, everybody wants to be held in executive session. We ask them to raise your hand if you don't want to be held in an executive session. Okay, so we'll just ask for a motion to go into executive session, and then we can take them one by one, whoever wants to go first.
Motion by Mr. Alcone, second by Mr. Diaz, all in favor? Opposed? We're going to executive session.
Motion in or back in regular session?
There's a motion in the back to regular session by Mr. Diaz,
Second.
second by Mr. Brewer, all in favor?
Aye.
I'll get back to regular session. Any recommendations from the human resources? Mr. Rand?
Based on the recommendations, based on the findings, lead man, drainage, road and bridge, operator 1, operator 3, maintenance worker, APCC maintenance worker, and operator 1B will be terminated effective immediately, based on violations of the personnel manual as verified and identified. And in an effort to keep the Assumption Parish Community Facility running as is for weekend events, the jury will approve temporary payment of actual time worked versus the accruing of K time as required for interested employees.
That's the full recommendation of the Human Resource Department.
That is a full recommendation of the human resource
Need a
department.
motion to that effect.
Motion to that effect, Mr.
Motion to that
President.
effect by Mr. Pineville, second by Mr. Diaz. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? With that, that motion carries. That being said, you gave the name, you gave the positions, the positions. So anybody with a Parish vehicle, keys, hand them over to Mr. Blankenship, please.
Brian, could you handle that outside, please?
Yeah.
Thank
All right. Next item. Discuss the cut. Discuss the previous cutback recommendations of the Secretary Treasurer.
Okay, you notice in your handout, I did have the previous sheet that we had looked at previous meetings, but I also just gave you a summary. Because these are two things we talked about at the last meeting regarding the general alimony, and you can see at the top right-hand corner, this is what we generate for general fund. $1,126,532. And then you have the library fund, and it shows what they receive on ad valorem taxes for 2 meals and what the quarter-cent sales tax brings into them. I also have to the far right, where an estimate of a half a meal, what it generates, 1 meal, and also a meal and a half. You will see the estimated beginning fund balance and ending fund balance and revenues and expenditures for the library fund. Just gave you an example, if we were to potentially reallocate a portion of that revenue, what the reduction of the revenue would be. And it does show that under current operations, that budget could still sustain itself with the remaining revenues. Now, on the general fund side, if you look at the estimated ending fund balance, and you also look at the revenues, the expenditures, the transfers in, the transfers out for 2026, the net effect is a negative $679,611. So the point I'm trying to make to you is a simple reallocation of a portion of this ad valorem tax will not remedy the problem in total. We are still, that would still not be, the full meal in the half would only be $378,000. So the net effect is we still have to have some cost cutback measures within the general fund. Again, so that brings us back to the list. That brings us back to different discussions we've had before, which is why we called this meeting to begin with. So just wanted to share that with you all before you all made a decision and thought it would be a one answer to solve all, because I don't see that as being the case.
Correct. But it is a start. It is a start somewhat. And it probably would be the biggest, but still not enough and understood.
This needs to go before the voters.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I know.
It's not a
Yeah,
It's not an automatic.
It's not a new tax.
It's not a
No.
fix.
It's just
No,
a
it's just rededication.
rededication.
I know it has to go. I know that. I know that. But it's our decision if we want to bring it to the boards. That's one of them. But let's start from the top. We'll go one by one on Ms. Torres' recommendations. Conduct all daily operations in maintenance mode only for existing programs, infrastructure, service, etc.
And keep in mind, you all asked me to come up with a list of things that I had brought to you in the past at one time or another. And that's what this list is. So you'll see one says to operate in maintenance mode, and then the next one is cutback mode, because I recommended maintenance mode and it went nowhere. So then I came back another year and said, okay, now we ready for cutback mode. So that's why you're gonna see these and think, well, what's the difference here? Once Brian gets back here, I guess he can elaborate more on that. But obviously, if you're gonna be in maintenance mode, you're not gonna be creating new infrastructure. You're gonna live within your existing infrastructure and not increase your infrastructure, because that is not maintaining, that is increasing. That is my perception of maintenance mode. Now, if you look to bullet number 2, it says to move to cutback mode since we didn't do a maintenance mode. Obviously, then we have to look at certain services that we may provide and what can we cut, what can we not cut? We talk about the inmate expenses at the jail facility. We know we can't cut those. We have to pay those. We have to meet those obligations. And that's where we are with that. You know, that's not an option. So we have to look at recreation. We have to look at, recreation's a big thing on the general fund side. We have a lot of offices that are funded through general fund. Our Housing and Community Development Office, our OEP office, the sewer districts, criminal court, all these things are funded through general fund that provide services that we may have to downsize. We may have to combine something to cut back. It's not going to be just a red flag and say there's one thing we can just take away. But we have to be creative, especially when we're talking about staffing and personnel, which is why I'm so against adding an additional person when we can't even really justify whether it's really needed. Then we don't want to go that route.
How many employees are paid through the general fund?
I don't have that number specifically, but housing is subsidized through the general fund. OEP employees are subsidized through the general fund. My employees are subsidized maybe 25% because we have rotated all that to 1%. Criminal court, we have to pay for all the personnel that we get court orders from, so their staffing is 100%.
If, and I discussed this with the jury before, no, I just walked in, but there's other parishes that charge a lot more for their 911 funds than we do. And I kind of mentioned that a couple of months ago. I'm gonna do some more research on that, but if I could, if not me, but if we was able to draw more funds from our 911 with call system, would we really utilize that to subsidize employees paying?
Well, right now, we currently have one employee that
Correct.
is charged through 911, and
Correct.
that's it. But it would help, because if you really looked at the 911 budget, again, we are taking in, I think we're very close to not breaking
Correct.
even.
And I know that, I looked at numbers to see where I think Lafourche and Terrebonne and these other parishes are charging. We charge like 50 cents a call, they charging $3, $2. We way behind, it's never been addressed. I think John had told me one time, they had brought it up, previous administration, and they had said, no, we can't do that to the taxpayers, but I think it's time for us to catch up with these other parishes. They're using their cell phone and get charged different rates in different parishes, and we way behind on what we could charge on the rates on calls.
Well, and we may not be able to assist, that may not be able to assist on the personnel side, but the sheriff can speak to
Yeah.
this effect. Equipment,
Well,
911
yeah.
equipment is
Look,
very expensive to upgrade.
A lot of that equipment is our responsibility,
I
those
know,
consoles
but
and
that
all that
comes
stuff.
from that budget.
That's correct, but
It
I mean,
comes
if
from
I
that
can,
budget.
that's what I'm asking, if we can generate some more funds, we maybe subsidize some employees a little bit more with some of the employees that, just to kind of take a break off the general fund.
Right.
I'll look into that option.
Right, we spoke about permitting and whatnot. The permitting office is not self-sustaining. They are not. The OEP office is not self-sustaining. So this is all subsidized, not subsidized, funded from the general fund.
Permits, I think our permits need to be updated.
I do have the price of permits now, and I can look into what other parishes cost and see where we at, and then present something at a later meeting to maybe increase our fees. And I also think we need to enforce when we see something that is.
And
not
also
permitted.
after the fact permit.
After the fact permits should probably have a
Double-
separate charge.
At
Absolutely.
least double.
How many of those y'all catch after the fact? I'm
Well-
starting my job, but after the fact.
Oh, if
If it's enforced, a lot.
it's enforced, we catch a lot more. But I
Okay, so
mean,
when you
it's-
say enforce,
So,
somebody go out, I'm building a shed on my property, a remodeling or whatever. They come out and see me doing it, I don't have a permit. They give me a letter saying I need to go get a permit. If I say I'm not gonna get a permit, I'm continuing building, what enforcement they got?
Take you to court, that's all.
Law,
it's
yeah.
Take you to court, and you're right.
It's a
You
legal
got the point right
process.
there, Chris. Then we gotta spend money on a lawyer to go to the court system to fight for a little fee that should have been collected, and it's a lose-lose for
You
everybody.
still need to try something.
I
mean, it's
understand,
not-
yeah, I know, it's just not, it's just a bad system.
Yeah.
do with permits.
But you have people now, because there's no after the fact permit, so they're rolling the dice. Well, I don't want to pay for this permit, so I'm gonna just take my
Yeah.
chances and see if they catch me.
Yeah.
If they catch me, then I just go get my
With the
permit.
same amount that they
The
pay.
same
if they
amount.
get it
I mean,
legit.
we can do it, but I'm just saying, you know, there was something generated by the state, forced down on us with the permit and stuff. But there's no real penalty to say if you don't do it.
Let's do away with the permit, then they gotta go to state for that permit, let them go to state.
You can't do away with it, you
Why?
do, because it's mandated by the state.
Insurance relies on you.
Well, and isn't
It's
that,
not an insurance deal. It's not.
isn't that the link between hazardous mitigation and grant funding that we get? That they
There is
tie
some
that
things,
into?
I don't know
There for a
exactly
reason.
what it is, but you can lose some federal funding by not filing the federal. Mr. Pond was correct. I don't know if exactly all based on insurance, but there's a lot of different factors that involved. I'm sure the parish thought about that before. Y'all put them in place.
Yeah, when they had the big meeting, when it all came about, you know, all that was brought up.
It's an unfunded mandate, but it penalizes you if you don't.
Yeah.
Put the program into force. So anyway, Justin, do that. Do that. Kim will put in different officers, just come back with a good, solid, hard recommendation on what you need to do. I mean, we're gonna make some drastic changes without a doubt. but-
So recreation, we tossed around, for years, they talked about that, hotel motel, the camp, the bed and
Lodging
breakfast tax,
tax.
lodging tax.
I think we need to look at
We
that.
can look into that and dedicate that
All the-
strictly to
all the-
recreation.
All the documents, the wording with that, has already been done. I think, State Representative Chad Brown orchestrated that for us back in 2017, 2018. It's just for us to go ahead and try to initiate it and, expedite it.
We
So
seriously need to look
everything
into
is
that.
there. Everything is there.
Aaron had laid this completely out for us previously, and years ago. And we definitely need to look at this again
And
and
dedicate it
put it
strictly
into
to-
effect.
Recreation.
What you said, Mike?
Put it in strictly to recreation.
Fund recreation.
Your lodging. If you
That,
collect
that
lodging,
tax money would go
put-
strictly to recreation.
Well, we need to look at what we need to do to instigate it, to start it. You know, with all this,
Well, what's gonna be a help with all the economical impact that's gonna be around us, and people gonna be looking for places to stay, and they're gonna be using the campsites, and we got like, what's that by Community Worship Center? The trailer park, people gonna be, yeah, trailer parks and all that. All that's all included, right?
Yeah.
So, trust me,
VRBOs, any type of rental.
RV, any type of RV, yeah, all that's gonna be coming in.
Bed and breakfast, all that.
It's gonna be coming in.
sure it would.
So, yeah.
All right. I mean, just continue.
Am I authorized to tell my inspector that he can, if he sees something, to give us a call and we can put in a stop work order?
Most definitely.
More definitely.
Justin, and I had a conversation with my sister who was here before. She said she remembers that it was the previous jury had said that you had to do a written complaint. You cannot just call in. That was something that, it's not in the ordinance, but she said the jury had, the previous administration had said you had to make a written complaint.
Somebody gotta make a
That's what
plan
I'm
on it. We
asking.
can't go out
You
there.
can't
and-
anonymously do
A
it, yeah.
plea juror can't go, if somebody,
Anybody
he
can,
can't,
anybody
a
can
plea juror
just,
can't.
you can't just call on the phone. You have to come in and do a
We
written
will
complaint.
Nobody's
request.
gonna do it.
Why?
Nobody's gonna do it. Nobody wants to put their name.
I know.
That's what I'm saying. I'm asking them to
Yeah, you,
to overturn
yeah,
that.
you asked me to overturn it, okay. I'll
So,
make sure they
so
understand what
the
you're asking
inspector
for.
can call.
If
in
the
if he
inspector
likes.
sees something.
I don't know if we ever had that, did we have that in writing?
No, sir.
It's
been
not
on
in
the
What I was
writing.
told, it was
Never
never in
been in
writing.
writing.
It was just something that was,
Apparently it was something that was said before my time.
No.
yes, mine too.
No, any complaints, act on it. Act on it. Just, would it be anonymous?
We're gonna find ourselves in a situation that Martin put us in years ago with lawsuits.
Yeah,
fighting.
because
Yeah,
I
but we
did- I
not,
did the-
nobody
I did
wanted
the
to sign
complaint.
their name on the paperwork.
So I did,
You're right.
and that was that,
But
backfired.
And what happened?
Yeah.
It cost the parish
Which
tons
is,
of
which
money.
is why we're not allowed to take grass cutting complaints or
That's
dirt
right.
complaints now
That's
from
right.
jurors.
If they wanna make a complaint, tell them to sign their name.
Yeah.
They don't know what happened.
Mike,
Ain't gonna
what would you
work.
say would be the best way to do it?
Unless,
Hold on, we got an
But-
AD, got a turn
And
right
now, well, I mean, South Central Planning is obviously involved in this as well, correct, with our permitting? That's always been my point of contact, was to communicate with South Central Planning, let them review the situation. If they put a stop work order in place, then it takes that off of back of. the-
Regardless of if we have a signed complaint.
Regardless of the signed complaint,
they used
because
to
they're
do.
reviewing items in the parish anyways. But as far as signed complaints, I agree, you due process under the law states that we cannot just nitpick one person
That's
over
right.
another. We can't
That's right.
pick winners and losers.
Right.
That's where we get into the issues. But again, if we're reviewing something in the whole of the parish, under the guidance of South Central Planning and Development, we have the ability to review permits and whether or not they're getting pulled.
Perfect. Yeah, we don't do it ourselves. We call them.
Correct.
So I mean,
Correct. They're the ones that oversee that process regardless, and we've had certain instances with that, so I think that's the path we follow at this time.
and they just. Discontinue to seeking additional grants requiring matching funds until all existing funds can be exhausted. Correct.
Self-explanatory.
Self-explanatory. All right.
that's a tough, that's a tough one right there.
I got the money.
Because, but when you say you don't wanna seek existing grants, then you basically saying you come into a standstill for moving this parish forward. I mean, we make contact with different people and we get money where we can put up for this match sometimes. Well, we don't have to come to the jury for that. I don't come to the jury for matching money, you know, but if we can get the money that we can match for a grant that we're looking for, why not why not seek
And,
that grant?
and I agree with you. You're talking about the match side, but what about the maintenance side? If we're trying to operate in a cutback mode, but we keep building infrastructure, we can't maintain what we have. How can we continue to maintain more and more and more? It's not that we might be incurring the money for the match, but where's the maintenance? We already have 130 pumps. The Bayou Shane structure is putting in, and we're gonna keep seeking pumps, and we gotta maintain all of them.
Oh, yeah, I know it's an issue.
It's where does it stop? That's the point. It's more so, it's more about the maintenance of the infrastructure that's continually being built.
That's just my point of view. I understand what you're saying.
Discontinue the expansion of parks and recreation due to the lack of ability of operational funds.
And again,
Same.
this is the same thing, you know, y'all know the 10,000 per award doesn't go far for utilities. We know that. We know there's maintenance of grass and everything that needs to be done. If the general fund has to be cut, we can't cut the prisoners. We can't send all of our employees home. What can we control? We can control recreation. Does that mean I'm anti-recreation? No, but what is going to be cut?
I understand that,
Something.
but I mean, taking the parks away from kids, that's all some of them have.
It
And you're
don't sound
right.
like we're gonna cut anything, guys.
So we're not gonna cut anything. So then
No,
we're not
we're
gonna.
making
fund-
some progress. We're making
What
some
what
progress.
progress have we made so far, Chris?
You said
Jamie,
expansion of.
you would never understand. You all against cutting the parks that don't have funding. But I have two parks.
I'm
Hold
not
on, let
against
me talk
cutting
for a minute. I have two
Parks that
parks.
don't have funding,
I've been
Chris.
here for 10 years. I have never went in the red with either one of my parks, okay? So keeping our parks open shouldn't be an issue. My parks have never, and I only get $10,000 a year, but have never went in the red in 10 years. Okay,
And-
but that's all some of these kids have to look forward to.
And you're right, and I hate to be the one to say this because I'm gonna get scrutinized, but we live in a very rural parish. We have 9 wards. Do we really need a park every 2 to 3 miles away from each other? Truly? It's just an honest
I don't see it.
question. Do we really need that? I mean, we drive 15, 20 minutes here and there on a daily basis for everything. So do we need a park, you know, down the street and then 2 miles down the road because we crossed a ward line?
I tried to discontinue the park, but I got shut down. And I got to, now I got operated, you know, pressures on being operated, so we will get it up and running, but that has been off our books. And we have a very refined park there right now, I would think, so. But that's here I say, so you say expansion of parks and recreation, do like a.
And it's kind of, and I'm not saying, I'm gonna go back to what Leroy said the other night or at previous meeting, and I'm not saying I'm for it or against it, because I still don't know financially how we can afford it. But that is things based on this police jury system where we have 9 wards, so everybody wants a little bit of everything for their constituents. But if we weren't in that structure of government, we wouldn't have as many structures to operate, to maintain, and the cost would go down. It's something to think about. I know it's not the way it's been done forever, and nobody likes change, but we've got to think out the box.
Any action on that, gentlemen? Place a travel expenditure freeze for all travel for 2026. We had some discussion on this already.
Yeah.
A lot of case by case basis. For as Joe Ross, I know we got a conference coming up. And we will not take any mileage. We won't take any meal money, the $50 or $60 per day. They're gonna do the mileage. The only thing the jury's gonna take care of is the room only.
Yeah.
Other
I
travel.
would like to bring that back up. And for the jurors to pay for that.
Too late, already paid for.
Too late.
Too late. Make a motion, James.
I'll make a motion that the jurors pay for their own expense for travel for 2026.
Second.
There's a motion made in a second that all jurors pay for their own travel for 2026. All in favor?
Aye.
How many ayes? Jamie, Mike,
Mhm.
Ara, Charles? That's 4.
I make a kind of motion that we don't, since it's already been approved, the room's already been paid for, that we don't pay for the rooms for this conference that's coming up.
Say that again.
That we don't pay for the room for the conference that's coming up in, Lake Charles. It's already been approved and it's already been paid for. The room been booked already.
And that's fine. We're here to make cuts.
Okay, you made your motion, I'm making mine.
There's a counter motion that we leave it as it is for this conference coming up, only for this conference coming up.
I second your motion.
There's a motion made and second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, Byron?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Aye.
that's 1, 2, 3.
Voted nay on the counter. Voted nay on the counter.
The 4 was that voted yea for the other one.
Yeah, the 4 that voted nay, so it'd be
So
Chris,
Myron,
Chris, Myron, Ryan, and myself, so it'd be a tie on the counter motion.
Want me to call Leroy?
That means it fails.
So that fails.
Yeah.
Merge the 911 administration assistant with the housing department intake worker.
I brought this up before we had new hires in an attempt because, my opinion and my observation over time was that we didn't need a full-time employee for each individual department, but that was,
I thought the last meeting, we decided to hold off on that intake worker to see how it went.
we did, but this was.
Yeah, but you allow Paul to get his work.
Yeah,
That's what you did. So you did for one and you didn't do for the other.
But that, in the.
but again,
housing
that's the
wasn't funded yet.
mentality we gotta
Yeah,
get
but
beyond.
it is because, but that's the mentality because he fought for what he thought he needed to run his department. And she did the same thing.
But
So
she
it's
don't
not
have
a
the funding.
mentality because we
You don't
put
have the
them,
funding yet.
we put him in positions to run a department and that's what he did.
And she's the head of all the departments. She is.
I
Yeah.
understand.
She's not?
I mean, she's our secretary treasurer, but I think we
Look
put
at
him to run his department, right? He should know what he need, right? So who should best know what they need for their
Look at the
department?
chart.
I answered her.
Okay, but at the end of the day, Paul, at the end of the day, who knows what's best what they need for their department? I don't know, you know.
Yes, I should know what's best in my department.
All right,
Make
so
the
that is,
recommendation.
that
I agree
is,
with that, I'm not gonna.
that is. Don't, you know what I mean? So that's all I'm saying.
Kim don't know.
Kim knows a lot. Don't say
Yeah,
that.
she does know a lot. She good at what she do.
And
Not
Paul,
knocking
and,
it.
and
Not
Paul,
knocking
and
that.
Paul knows where I stood on that.
Yeah.
And we don't always agree. And we don't always agree.
You
And-
disagree.
Yeah, and if I'm wrong, I'll admit I'm wrong, but I'm gonna go back to this position about the intake worker. 40 names were taken, so 40 appointments had to be made, to be set. And in order to keep their, what was the word? I don't, to keep the level of wherever their funding was, they need to have 40 appointments in a month. I will not sit here and say that that is unreasonable to expect one person to handle 40 appointments in a month. That is so reasonable to accomplish.
Yeah.
So to say you need 2 people, so each person can do 20 appointments, and then what do they do the rest of the time? Gentlemen, I am sorry, I have told y'all multiple times, come to my office and go visit and see what that side of the building is doing. They are not that busy.
I'll entertain a motion to merge the
Hold on.
911 system. Go ahead.
And look, I respect your decision on that, and I respect what you're saying, but at the same time, when you walk on the other side of the building, when you walk on this side of the building, everybody not busy all the time either. I come through here a lot, not as much as I used to.
I'm here a lot. I bet you
Yeah.
differ. That side over there is always doing something.
I'm there downtown,
I'm here
but
a
I'm just
lot.
gonna tell you,
Yeah.
I'm just gonna put it out there, nobody.
I tell you all the time, I mean, hey, I know Torres know her job, but see that Melissa?
Yeah.
She ain't got time to do nothing but do her job. She can't even look at her phone. And not a time I never came through here, and she's deep into what she's doing. I know that, and I come through here too, sometimes not as much, sometimes often. But I know that's one employee.
They do their job upstairs.
He didn't say that, he didn't say they didn't do their job.
All right, so
What y'all wanna do?
the recommendation, anybody want to make a motion to merge the
Motion.
911 assistant?
Motion.
Can I have a comment on that?
Go ahead,
Since
go ahead,
my
Paul.
employee, me and Mr. Claymore share that employee already, so you have an employee working for 3 different department heads. I understand your point, but if she goes, I have to go ahead and assist with commodities, and I have an emergency, a hurricane, or some type of event, where I'm gonna pull her for 2 or 3 months. She's not gonna be, I do her payroll, and she's gonna answer to me, and I'm not, that's the way it is. You know, she's under my name, under OEP. You know, so it's going,
Agreed.
it's
I mean,
going.
you gotta have common sense. We got.
I know that, but
emergency
it's just-
at
I
times.
just-
Emergency come, definitely gonna take precedence.
If we're looking to make cuts, we're gonna just have to make it work out.
We'll make it work. There's a motion by Mr. Ponville, second by Mr. Diaz, that we merge the 911 administrative system with the housing department intake worker. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Who
Who opposed?
seconded that?
Mike.
She accepts it.
Yeah, she might even accept it.
I can't promise you anything.
Just lost 6.
And, you gonna keep our pay where it's at for 3 different hats?
Look, y'all
I'm
just.
talking to y'all.
But then you want to, let's
What I'm
let's
asking.
define the job duties then.
y'all cut
You want to
it
talk
out.
about how many hats? Because if you talk about how
Yeah,
many
you're right,
hats
yeah,
people
yeah.
wear, there's only certain employees who received extra money every time they get a new hat.
Ron, I
And there's a
couldn't get
lot that
$5
don't.
cut and pay the
So
move where I'm at now.
And he's doing more grants
I'm
than
at
any of
7
our
grants.
grants coordinators
I'm
ever
at
did.
7 grants in my department. I was on the phone all day today with grants. I'm upgrading the
I'll
911
leave that
system.
alone.
You might want to leave that
I'm
alone.
gonna leave that alone, right? I'm upgrading our 911 system right
Leave that
now
alone.
from copper to fiber. I'm on the phone with that all day long. I can't even go check my equipment in my building because I'm, that I got my airboats and my equipment, I'm loaded. I'm not trying to toot my horn, but wait, I hate to see when I leave.
Thank you, Paul.
Y'all just got rid of a grass sprayer. I got the permits for the grass sprayer in this parish. I'm backing him up. I got 88 certifications for mosquito spray and something happens to him. Brian's just learning the bridge. I've been doing the all-system bridge program.
We gotta go to bridge school.
When you plan on retiring?
A lot earlier, in 3 more years, I make 62.
Paul,
So,
Paul,
I,
any PA, I know Kim don't like this, what I'm fixing to say, but Rostan, they did have another,
You
they
bring it up
did
a
have
whole-
another
I think-
side of PA,
look,
public
we're gonna have that
assistance.
discussion at another time, because we.
No, I know it, no.
Paul and I have had that discussion. Go
Look,
ahead.
I'm gonna be honest with you, okay?
I know our
we-
neighbors
we
use
really
it.
disagree, but what I've heard from my counterparts in St. James, when it comes to PA and public assistance, when there's a storm, they come in and manage your whole system. They do your hazard mitigation grants, do all your grants, your public assistance, handle everything, And they mostly take your 5% administration fees that's entitled to us, that will pay for our administration. That's what they do, they work on. Now, whether that's truthful or not, I mean, Ms. Kim would have to look at what's going on and that type of stuff, but they would benefit us. It would help us for them to bring in contractor people like to help us and at a minimal charge if they're being honest with me.
For grants.
Well,
For administration.
well, the way it works is with public assistance, if you get a storm, every time you get a storm event with public assistance, you always get a hazard mitigation grant. The safe rooms, the community, all these big grants come from storm events. Whenever there's a storm, the next year you get a hazard mitigation grant. Right now, I got 7 of them I'm dealing with. And in the courthouse, I took that one. That one fell in my lap too, so it's just it's a headache.
And 8 buildings we got going on at the same time, and the park that's getting built that flips on our side.
Think about already doing a fine job.
Can I bring something up real quick?
Thank you, Paul. I'm gonna slide some more stuff that way.
So, in the next month or so, we would have been starting mosquito abatement services. I just lost 5 drivers.
Some part-time one.
Part-time. We've been talking about part-time.
So I can put it out there.
Yeah.
I'll make a motion for Justin to advertise part-time mosquito abatement drivers.
Second that motion.
Motion made by Ms. Bonneville, second by Diaz, that we advertise for part-time contract workers for mosquito abatement.
Why don't we slide in?
I got it.
Keep your one guy you got. All in favor?
Uh,
Opposed?
Sure,
That
that is.
carries. Anything else, fellas? Upon the retirement of the housing department, do not fill the position due to the workload not warranting the 3-person
Trying to
office.
prepare that.
Yeah, we just talked about that.
All right, we're going down the list. Discontinue and reduce the reduced cost events held at the Suffolk Parish Community Center and Agricultural Complex. We do get help quite a bit on those. And both, the Ag Center that really did red, but, I mean, some good shit.
No, the budget's not, but.
No, the budget, community center is, that's,
If you're gonna do one, do both.
no, I know it.
Yeah.
I know it. It's just, you got church groups, you got.
And into this as well, and I'm not picking on you, Ron, but
Stop
parks,
picking on me.
but parks should be entertained and contracts should be available for parks and usage, just like we do with these other facilities. If they have functions going on at your park, you're the only one that knows what's going on. We don't have a clue about it. There should be some accountability to this board. We hold the liability, we hold everything. It should be treated just like every other rental with insurance for whoever's renting it and potentially a fee to be considered.
You just want it on paper. That's what should happen.
Do you think it should not? Why should
I
it
have
be
it. I
different?
have all the qualifications. I have all the insurance and everything like that. We just never.
If a rental comes,
I move. I don't block a rental.
Y'all talking 2 different things right here.
Yeah.
You talking about using this community center for your rec ball.
Yeah.
She's talking about the
No,
park.
I'm talking about the park.
Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, okay.
Park.
Okay. That ain't hard. We can work on something that. You just use it. That's all. That's how it's always been.
Maybe have a
Come
big,
Monday, we got a whole crew out there cleaning.
Exactly.
No, you don't.
Yes, we do.
No, you don't. No, you don't.
Brian.
That been stop. Stop it right now. No, you don't.
When you stop.
No, you don't. They clean it up. They clean it up.
Yeah,
And I'm out there.
Only thing they go out there and do is just pick the bags up.
Pick the bags up.
All
pick
of the
that.
trash is put in bags
All that
already.
stuff is done. No, you don't.
Jerry
We don't
not
have
on there
that.
to clean the park.
You can ride every Monday if you want. No, we don't have that problem no more.
all right, so how y'all want no more discounts for the community center? Across the board, it'll be all. Gentlemen, I'll leave it alone.
No.
What's your thoughts?
You use it on risk.
The reduce or free, excluding the Central Parish School Board.
That's what you're talking about, right?
But we ought to put a limit on how many
That-
times they use it too.
I agree. That
Because
needs to
when
be a
when
limit.
this first took place, the school board was only using this thing like, I don't know, maybe 7 to 10 times a year. Now, it's out of control.
It is.
Well, we need to have Maria have a calendar. But also we just gotta find how we
Well, we
limit
do
the
have a
number.
calendar. They
We
send
do
a-
have it. They
I
send
fill
a
it up.
request in for
They fill
everything.
it up.
Yeah, no, I mean, they booked it already next year graduation, which I understand.
No, no,
No,
graduation is
That's
totally
okay, I'm
different.
just saying, yeah, a
Yeah.
year away, that's.
It was
that's-
always built with
That's
the
sacred
intent
and
for
all that, I know
graduation,
that, I'm good with
correct?
that, I'm just saying it's just a year, it has always a sacred.
Chris is right. It
So we
has
got, some
increased.
people already got, some organizations already got this community center already booked. So
And
whoever
if
got
they-
it already booked, and they booked it for a discount price, they keep that price.
Yeah.
So what you gonna
That's
do,
already
twenty
booked.
twenty-seven?
No, we're gonna, any new bookings, starting with any new bookings, you go to regular price. But if you already got it booked,
You got a book.
then you get that discount price that you booked it at.
No matter what, 5013C, no matter,
Yeah,
no
if you
matter, across
booked,
the board.
if you booked it at a discount price, you get it at a discount price through this year here, whatever time booking.
New
Any
bookings
new
from here
bookings,
out,
From here
just
on out.
go, from here on out, go with the full price.
So,
But the-
so basically,
no.
we are talking about removing the
No.
501c3.
We're talking about, giving them an extra discount. Still give your churches and your school, your 503Bs their discount rate. But we're talking about the freebies or the half price of that cost.
Chris is
Well,
talking
we'll
about
get the
everything.
freebies.
I didn't think that's what we was talking about, I thought we were talking about.
No,
It's all up for
Yeah,
discussion.
I thought it was the extra freebies.
So, perfect example. They're gonna have the concert for the Arts Festival. What you gonna do? You gonna charge them the regular price for three days, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday? Or you gonna give them a discount?
If they already booked at a discount, they get that discount.
We were supposed to have a negotiated contract
contract, yeah.
just for their function, and that never came to fruition. And I continue to ask Ms. Maria if she's gotten with Mr. Josh about it, but we don't. Remember, they came here and he said that their event was unique and they needed a special contract, and he had some type of contract he could provide us. That's never happened.
So do you have a number on what we're actually losing per year?
I don't have it handy, but we have to report it to the funding agency that funded that facility. And it's, the last,
Ballpark,
140,000 plus.
40,000 plus per year.
Yeah, about $5,000 a month in utilities. Just utilities. Yeah,
the whole consensus, Mike, was across the
across
board.
the board, right?
And I'm good with across the board. If we're losing that much money,
Yeah,
we gotta
across
go
the
across the
One
board.
do it all.
That's the last reporting year. It probably increased.
I entertain a motion,
Motion.
motion from Mr. Mathern, second by Mr. Paddle, all in favor? Opposed, that motion carries.
Okay,
That's
so,
for the center and the ag center, right?
Both facilities.
Both facilities.
okay, but how are we gonna handle these school board functions?
Okay, that's a separate motion that we need to make. My motion would be to give them 12 free functions a year. If they go there for practice, that's counted as a function.
Tournaments too?
Tournaments count as a function. They decide what they want to use it for, but we can't keep letting them use it 20, 25 times, and we in the red with the building. That's my motion, 12 free rentals a year.
And I say, don't even count graduation towards that. That's an auto.
But graduation don't
That's an
count.
auto.
There's a motion by Mr. Carter that we allow Social Parish High School.
Hold on,
No,
Mr.
no.
What
President.
we charging
So
now?
what you gonna, okay, so you got a motion on the floor with the community center. What about the ag center? What you gonna do when 4-H go over there? What you gonna do about
Same
that?
thing what you could do when the school goes to the community center.
You gonna do the same
After
thing?
that 12.
Ronnie running in the red, we gotta charge them.
You gonna get some kickback, all right,
Get some kickback.
You gonna get some kickback
Or you gonna shut it
regardless.
down, one of the two.
all right. Let's put it out there.
So
You're gonna get, we will get some meat, but, without
Do
a
what we gotta
doubt.
do.
then we need a time to start this because they have already had some bookings. Do we start?
New bookings,
The new
School.
book,
new bookings.
the new bookings.
Let's start with
Why
our
don't we
new-
just start off with
we
the
won't
first
count
year?
what they use already, we'll start with the new bookings moving forward.
Okay, so if they have stuff on the calendar.
Is
it's
that,
relevant.
that's good.
No, they got stuff on the calendar that's coming up, then that can count as one of their bookings, we're gonna notify them on that.
Well, that's what I'm saying, or
Yeah.
new bookings of new requests starting tomorrow.
Request.
It's probably gonna be some new
Why
requests.
why don't you just, school starts in August of 2026. Why don't you just start it there? I mean, if anything, they should have everything filled out for the rest of the year to me, right?
We need to start somewhere, we're gonna start it
We
now.
got it now.
That's
We got it like it is.
All right,
I
motion by
second
Mr.
that motion.
Motion by Mr.
That's
Carter,
fine.
second by Mr. Pineville to allow 12 events excluding graduation, would be 13. Free of charge. Other than that, we got to pay normal fees.
And these are considered one-day events.
One-day events.
So that's,
All in favor? Opposed?
So what's the definition of an event?
Any uses of it, practice,
Usage.
Per
whatever.
day?
A one-day, it's just a
One day.
one-day
Okay.
usage.
One day.
A
per
breakfast,
event.
they
How
have
many days?
breakfasts.
All in favor was ayes?
Aye.
Nays?
nay,
1 day.
I'm not in favor of that.
Motion carries. Implement a process for capturing lost revenue for businesses operating without an occupation license advertising through social media.
We talked a little bit about this at the
We're
last
still
meeting.
waiting on the,
I did call, her back and ask her, and, she is in the process of evaluating the hiring of a new employee because the workload in the sales tax office, they need somebody additional. So we pay a portion of that salary, so I think she's gonna be making a presentation. Sheriff, do y'all pay a portion to the sales tax office?
I don't get a sales tax.
Okay, so, she is gonna be making a proposal to us to assist in the salary of that as we do now for another person. That person, if hired and approved, would work primarily on investigations and seeking
You
things.
got like
like this.
Airbnb, can't go lose place and they're not paying taxes.
Well, there's a lot, so I mean, I think even though we're making this contact with the school board and we want to work with them and they share their database with us, there's still things we can do on our end to be proactive. We just have to make that decision to do it and how aggressive and how much authority you want to grant us as far as staff members to pursue this.
Gotcha. All right, took care of
and we reached out to other parishes, nobody answered that email.
well, they're
No,
still working.
Other
They're
parishes
still-
say when y'all figure out,
Let
yeah,
us
let us
know.
know. Because
hard
social
thing to do.
media has just taken it and blown it away, and, there's comments on Facebook, oh, you're not gonna make a lot of money on the little bakers, but it's way beyond that, and it's also about the business owner that is following the rules and paying his fair share, and his neighbor is not. I mean, you know,
All right, zero out.
so we do nothing, just continue.
Well,
No, I mean.
well, no, we need to find out how much it- other employees
So-
gonna cost us and everything else.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, we're gonna find that
Yeah,
out from
we'll
the
find out.
school board, but what about things that can we do internally? If we see things or we see a business operating, does the staff have the authority to reach out and recommend this person to get an occupational license? You are required by law, here's the statute to do that.
I'll make that motion to move forward with that, Kim.
It's a motion by Mr. Pineville to allow the staff to see that when there is a business advertising investigative, it does not have occupational license, to contact that particular business.
To provide them with the
Provide
information.
them the information.
Maybe some just don't know, so if we provide them with that information.
All right, motion by Mr. Pineville, is there a second?
Second.
Second by Mr. Brooke. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? That carries. So you're out cumulative recreation
I know you
balances.
skipped.
Huh, we took care of that.
Okay, yeah, we did take it out. Okay.
Zero out cumulative recreation balance carried forward that now are being expended. Well, we each got 10 grand. I know a couple of wards don't really use their money.
Most of the time,
Either.
most of the time it's
They're
bad.
gonna have it tomorrow.
But anyway, I mean, a lot of times we kept rolling forward to buy some equipment
bigger
and stuff
project.
like that, you know, you ain't talking a lot of money.
I think keep it at 10,
Sir?
keep it at 10,000.
Yeah, we're gonna keep it at 10, I mean. No action on that one. Zero out old drainage projects still on the books are unable to be completed. There are some drainage projects, like I have several that needs to be completed.
Well, I guess
But,
we should have no new projects until all these old ones get done.
Y'all got stuff been on the book for years. I
Man,
mean,
that's right.
Everybody.
It's not getting
The reason
done.
of that is because,
We just let
if I'm not mistaken, Kim, you're still waiting for some invoices to clear out some of these jobs,
Or
correct?
the project just is not getting done, or there's a right of way issue.
And that was one of my
or-
recommendations previously. Let's work on completing what's sitting there for the 90 that's there. and then evaluate it afterwards, because we got some that's sitting there since 2020.
It could be multiple reasons.
I can tell you right now, there's a pump sitting in the shop for one project that's been sitting there since 2020.
So what's
You
the
might well
hold?
get rid-
It's electricity issues and different things like that, but we can't take it off the books because we
Since
gotta go
twenty
back.
twenty, and we can
20 or
never resolve
21,
it?
somewhere, we went through a few people. So it's not just my fault.
That's a problem.
It's a serious problem, but it's not just my fault. It went through several others also. So we're gonna work on it. We've been dabbling as much as we can. Instance happened to Mr. Ira where they bought some material previously, but the job is not closed out and the invoice is not ran through it, so you don't know what the ending amount is until the job is complete.
What kind of progress you made on that pump?
What pump?
The pump you was just
We're
talking
not
about?
talking about drainage, we're talking about budget.
Yeah, what
Yeah.
kind of progress you made there?
Y'all talking about project, y'all just talked about. Did he not say moving project? We're talking about budget.
All right,
Brian, look at things that's been on the books for years
I'll evaluate it.
and come back and give us a recommendation.
I'll evaluate it.
Good, do it.
all right, do that. Eliminate, thank you, Sheriff.
Thank you, Sheriff.
Eliminate your lighting that is funded through the general fund. You talking any new lighting? I think they all expired. I mean, nobody have any lights left to
I
install.
had a new license.
No, but every July has 30 lights, so if we're looking to cut back, that is a means to cut back.
Put a good term on.
Those
Yeah.
those lights are at major intersections.
Oh, I mean, you will be sending employees home soon too.
Do you have a amount?
Yeah, but listen them lights, because I have no idea where my lights are.
I can send you, there's the list.
Get that list to us.
Okay.
Let's look at the list and you see if we can eliminate a
I
light.
think I got
Without
some in
any-
Jimmy. I got some in Jimmy.
Put
Ward.
any public safety in
Got some in
jeopardy,
your ward.
we do that. Get us that list.
It's hard to take-
Discontinue the funding to the
It's hard
Chamber
to
of
take something
Commerce
back.
for
Yeah,
hosting
it's hard to take
banquets,
something
et
back.
cetera. Discontinue funding to the Chamber of Commerce for hosting banquets, et cetera.
I mean, the quarterly funding too.
That is their quarter, that's their one,
How much been down, $2 grand a year? 500 or more,
5,000,
5,000 a year?
1250 a quarter.
Any recommendations on that? Our recommendation would be 50% of that.
Got it in hand.
What benefits do they provide this parish?
What?
I'm not a German. What benefits do they provide this parish? Every new industry coming in? Economic growth?
What you call that, business card exchange.
I'm not a German. Keep 'em out.
They host an event and it gives out scholarships, which
50%.
Yeah, no business, they should be self-sufficient.
It's a motion by Mr. Mathern to do 50% of the current allocation. Is there a second?
second.
Second by Mr. Pineville, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? That carries. I think the next one we also talked about already, but we'll talk about again. Additional increases in user fees needed more often for sewer district and solid waste fund to avoid the general fund transfer.
And Ron spoke about that at the last meeting. We do have a
Mhm.
plan moving
Got the
forward.
plan moving forward.
And we would hope that construction would start it last year, but
It started.
we are delayed, so,
Any idea on that number?
Why?
I can tell you.
Well, that used to be a big number then.
108,000 is what's projected this year. Oh, but again, I don't know when they're gonna finish construction. When they finish construction, the expenses ought to go down because our maintenance fees are to,
Yeah.
but I just don't know when,
the
so I
maintenance
have
gonna go
projected for a
down.
whole full year.
How much they paying per month now?
Oh, like 32. And it's going up, it goes up
January, I
every,
think it goes up next January, maybe.
yeah, we just went up
This
to
January?
32.
Well,
We just went
Just
up.
went up?
We just went up to 32. Next January is
it
gonna
goes
go
up
up again.
again, yeah.
Yeah, so it's self-sufficient, it's gonna be self-sufficient.
By the time it catches up, we're gonna be low again.
Let me ask this question here.
Well,
Again,
So they,
how do we fix the problem that the people that are connected to the system that is not paying? How do we fix that problem? We paid South Central Planning money to bring us back that information. They couldn't bring it back to us.
Was it as many as missing as we thought there were? We caught several, but not enough.
did they get on the system?
That was the water we caught
Water.
7 on. We talking about sewer right here.
But with the new systems, that's not gonna be all brought up to date with the new system tie-in?
No, no.
You talking about when you gonna put a new system into
This is talking about
a
right
new
now.
area, but I'm talking about the area
Hold
that's,
that in.
that's already have them in there. When somebody move into that area, they go to get sewer, go get a permit, they gotta get hooked up to the sewer. It's nothing in place to tell the parish that, hey, this person needs to start paying the sewer bill. And that's been going on for years.
So in other words, you saying when they go to the waterworks to get a
But
meter,
every house in there should be hooked
That
to the sewer
actually should
system.
identify that.
It's
But he didn't
not.
do it. He
It's
didn't do it.
not, and I can tell you
Engineered,
for a
quality
fact,
control
it's
was
not.
Yeah.
3 or 4 on one water meter?
No, it's not by one woman, they getting their own water meter. But it's not, we don't have a system in place to see, when I come to you to get a permit and I'm moving in the area that got a sewer system, once I get everything I need to get connected, for y'all to start charging me.
That sewer
We have
system
nothing in
should
place.
be,
So we
have
should
a
implement
grid.
it.
that way the waterworks know that they're in a sewer system.
You talking about the
too.
water work, no, the water work don't care about if somebody pays sewer or not, that's not their money, that's for the parish. It should be something that we have in place.
So you know of these people?
I know of a few. I'm not going to every ward and see who's not connected.
Then you gotta go to court.
I have a question. What about, would you think the water district would entertain buying these systems from us? And then they keep the revenues and then they'd have a reason to
To be interested
be
in,
interested
Find a
in it.
private entity.
There's a lot of money in sewer, I can tell you that.
Yeah, you need somebody private to buy them.
can we sell them?
I don't even know
Because
if we can sell it with
we got it
federal
on the
funds.
federal money.
Yeah,
Yeah, you pay with it with CDBG money.
let's contact the waterworks and ask them in this sewer district.
No,
how-
we need to implement something in our permit
Well,
office.
we need to see if they,
We
what they
know.
use, what map
what
they
trigger,
have.
what trigger?
We
know
know,
it triggers.
I mean, we just, there's nobody to tell,
Yeah,
And nobody what?
nobody to tell. Like, we know when they get put on.
You know
the
when they come to
system.
get a permit for that
Yeah, but who am I
area.
supposed to tell?
But
Well,
I'm saying,
BJ,
it wouldn't be the Department of Health come to the department
Department
office
of
and say,
Health
hey,
do not collect revenue for us.
no, saying that it was permitted.
So I
to
don't
be
even
put in
know, like, the
place.
charge comes on their water bill?
Yeah, how is it? It's not automatic. You go to waterworks and, all right, the sewer district is 1,000 Highway 1. All right, you go, like, I need my water here. All right, 1,000 Highway 1, sewer, charge for sewer. Is in sewer
There's
district.
nothing about sewer there.
No, I mean, yeah, nothing
For that
for
water
them
meter,
to
they
check out.
hooking up to the system.
Yeah, and not get free. So we need to, first of all, give it to waterworks
Whenever they come for a
and,
permit.
and see.
That's what I'm saying.
Well,
Yeah,
well,
we can let the waterworks know.
I'm just talking about
Do-
a
do we
house.
do you know when somebody comes in there in a
Mhm.
district?
That's because they're gonna tell you, because they don't have to go get a tank.
They don't have to go to the lady upstairs.
So then we need
It's
to,
handled
we
internally
need to-
versus going to,
we need
the
to gather that
sanitarium.
information and we need to provide that to the waterworks. And I'll find out from BJ who needs to get that. Who is the person you should be providing that to?
So when you
That's the
get the
light bulb.
permit, you need
You
to
don't need to
relay
take
it to the water
yeah,
plant.
we could pull a list of people from.
Or you can get a map
Yeah, you
of
put a
every
list,
district,
you'll
get a
see.
map of every district.
All right, work on that list.
Hey,
Waterworks will
water
have
plant, I
to
tried
say
that.
whether they charge or not, but we
Look,
don't
No,
know.
that's
I
okay,
know.
you give
They
me
were-
that.
Listen to what Paul
I
telling
gotta watch
y'all.
my mouth here.
Do
I
it, say
went,
it,
I
tell
went,
it,
okay,
say
I'm gonna say
Say
it.
it.
I went to the water plant with a map of every district, and I met with them ladies, and I said, look, let's go over all these addresses. Mr. LeBlanc, we ain't got time. Okay, I go back 2 weeks later, Mr. LeBlanc, we ain't got time, we ain't got time. I go back 2 weeks later, Mr. LeBlanc, we ain't got time. After about the 5th time, Paul said, but that was me and Ms. Carroll's plan. Take a map of every, I know all the districts, I know all, take a map. Go start, I know that this house at this corner, all these houses in this district are on that, in our mapping system. Go down there, let's go to do a list. And I told it to them, I said, get me a designated woman over there that I can sit for 3 hours or 4 hours. I can go down every address, 126 Pecan, 128 Pecan, 127 Pecan. Are they paying or not paying? It just never worked out. I couldn't, and I'm not trying to throw them under the bus, they're busy too, but there's
I'll
never.
try to coordinate
Yeah,
with
please do.
BJ because they have a vested interest because they
Yeah.
receive.
And that's the
proportional
only way to do it.
collections.
And I actually had people in Bertrandville that came, because I told them, put everybody in Bertrandville. So it's the people on the levee that's not in the system, they're on they can't cross the state highway with the system. So anything on the bayou was not in the system. And they actually came, Mr. LeBlanc, you getting this, whoa, now you coming because I put you on there, you're ratting on yourself. So I went, take them off. But they will not come tell you that they need to be paying. They sure gonna tell you if you put them on there, they're not paying. So that was my plan. I can get that approved from y'all. Let's put all these people in this district, in this map, they're supposed to be in the district, and they're gonna tell you right there whether they, no, I'm not hooked up. Well, you need to get hooked up. And I tried that, it just didn't, and I'm not trying to, there's some big,
We're gonna
areas,
revisit.
they don't work for me, they work for them, so that's what we tried with Miss Carol, I tried that,
We're gonna try again.
okay, we can try again.
Justin, you get us a list.
We're gonna have some,
Yeah, I'm talking.
we have some good results.
Yes.
We can pull a list from how many years back and we can put some on the permit to let the
Okay.
waterworks know going forward.
Meet with the 23rd District GDC to discuss the budget shortfalls and rise the cost of criminal court fund.
We tried that one night when all the judges were here and, that didn't go very far. I don't
We
remember.
were actually supposed to meet again and we never
Have to
did.
go through legislation to
Jeff, I
change
thought you
that.
said, I thought you
We
said
did have
that the,
something.
Police Jury Association looking at some things as it pertains to that, because other parishes are having issues.
That's what he told us, Ron.
Yeah, there we are. That's a
Hopefully
discussion
Hopefully
at
we
the
can find
conference.
something out. when we
Down the
go to-
road.
Yes, yes.
I will share with you that the fourth quarter of 2025, the number of court orders that we received was reduced. Was it just because it was the fourth quarter and the holidays? Or was it a result of our plea to them? I'm not sure. I'm curious to see how this first quarter in 2026 is gonna be.
All right,
The criminal court fund, just to let you all know, the criminal court fund is requiring 151,000 a year. And we have absolutely no control.
that's beautiful.
That's general fund money. Yeah.
All right, the other two propositions we talked about, did we? Consider proposition, reallocate the 2 meals, where they have to go to the voters.
So what election do we put that on? The May one
Next week.
or
I don't think
You
you
won't make it.
won't make the May.
probably the, November one?
Well,
October?
it's not really our choice as to win at this point. It's just a matter of what decision the jury wants to make, and then we start the process. So you all just have to.
Anyone that's gonna go back and watch this meeting or has watching the meeting now, they're gonna look at this and say that the jury wants to reallocate some meals for their budget. What cuts did they make? They went through this entire list and they made just a few cuts. That's not gonna fly, guys. It won't.
There's several things we're all working on, they're working, but yeah, we made some cuts. I don't know, but we made some, we're moving in the right direction.
We'll do is try, so we do.
Yeah, we're still cutting
You don't have to
services.
put it out there that they see exactly what we propose.
Any action on the current 2 meals dedicated to the library? For now. Recommendation from Secretary of Treasury, 1.5 to be reallocated. No action?
Yeah, we need to do something.
Make a motion.
I'll make the motion.
Motion by Mr. Diaz to reallocate. Put it on to the voters. Whenever we can, probably toward the end of the year, to reallocate 1.5%, and we have to the exact definition of.
I don't,
Rather-
I'm wondering if it can be reallocated to our general alimony. That way it's not, it's to general alimony, which is part of the whole encompassing general fund. I'll have to ask the attorneys on that.
So just table it till Wednesday. No, you're not gonna be here. You're going on vacation. No, she's going on vacation.
She could call and tell us.
So
Just
just
wanna
table,
make
just
sure that
table,
this
just
money
table.
is gonna be used in the right place.
No,
Well, if
Not
it's,
wasted.
if it's
If it goes
allocated
to
to the
general
general
fund.
alimony, it's to the general
General fund,
fund.
I
period.
understand that, but I mean, everybody's gonna be trying to dig into the
Well,
general
it's-
fund.
Again,
but
the
we
purpose
have
of
to
doing
make
this is not
sure-
to increase.
Projects.
I understand that, I understand, but just because we may have an increase, if it goes through, we have to spend it wisely.
I was just looking for that to handle a blow that we get and take, that we have to deal with. So that's all it was
Are
doing.
we still paying phone bills? You still?
You still getting your check?
Are you still submitting your phone bill?
Oh, you still getting your check
All
every
right,
month?
gentlemen, so, Mike, your motion is a 1.5 to
1.5.
general alimony. Based on Kim doing some more If
We'll check
that's
into
okay
legal
with
with
that,
it.
but for
Yeah.
now,
Yeah.
1.5, that's a motion from Mr.
Reallocation.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
Second by Mr. Powder, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? That carries. Consider proposition to reallocate 1/8 of sales tax generated from the 1% sales tax fund for inmate needs expenditures within the general fund, estimated $400,000 annually.
That will be dedicated just for inmates.
Strictly it is.
Right.
Again, this is
Yep.
just a suggestion.
Suggestion, motion for that effect based on, or you wanna do that, or more information, how we could do it, or?
My concern on this one is it's gonna be a hard sell. But, you know, if we're going through the legal,
Yeah.
if we're going through the legal,
What else you
it's an
got?
option.
Tell the truth.
That's good. That's all you can do.
Listen,
Put it out
listen,
there.
y'all, I mean, look.
It's the truth, it's
We've been,
we have to maintain.
look, we know, look, y'all, a lot of y'all in business and see what's going on. I mean, I've been on the jury a long time. And, back in the day, you know, people was working for $8, $9 an hour or less, you know, now they're $18, $25 an hour, you know? We're buying pickup trucks for $17,000, $16,000 on state bid or less. Now they're $40,000, $45,000, $50,000, you know? Excavators cost what way back when? What they cost now? You know, everything went up, everything went up. In 22 years I've been in the jury, we never raised a sales tax, never went to the public for a sales tax whatsoever. Whatsoever, never had, you know? And money wise, I mean, just the insurance is killing us. No control over, you know, so, yeah, we're gonna ask for taxpayers for some help without
But it's-
raising any money.
It's reallocating, it's not asking for another.
No, that's what I'm saying,
Reallocate.
reallocating some money. That's not gonna put any burden
Oh, nobody.
on anybody. Just help us with going to the taxpayers without cutting services, and still give them good service they're getting now without raising any revenues. So with
That's
that
how you
being
gotta be
said,
sold. That's how you gotta be sold to the public.
well, I mean, it's
Straight
cut
up.
and dry.
Straight up.
We never
just
went up
gonna
on
reallocate.
anything.
Well, that's all we do.
It's nothing.
I guarantee you didn't work when you were making 20 years ago.
No,
Thank you. Ain't nobody asked. Come on. Entertain a motion.
so
Move by Mr. Alcone. And get a second?
Second.
Second by Mr. Diaz. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. There's one deviation.
motion to deviate.
I got one more thing that, well, a couple more things that I brought up that I'd like to bring up. As far as, we just talked about insurance, instead of going with the same agency each and every time, I like to shop our agents for insurance to get a better price. Prior to someone coming up and say, look, I saved y'all $3,000 this year. I like to shop our insurance. Also, Silver Source, the property that the parish has. Is it required by law that we have to go through them, Kim?
No, it's not.
Okay, why can't we just auction that off ourselves,
Cause,
save that money?
cause we wouldn't sell it none.
We was-
were doing
that's
it.
right, that's why we
We
went
did,
there.
but the problem is we can't sell any property with clear title.
Yeah.
We had no guarantee to title because we would not do Mike,
Title
we would
Title
call it
search?
Title search and whatnot. So we would sell this title based on, this property based on an auction, but it was no clear title.
Right, so they're buying it that way.
Because it's clear. The title's
No, they're
clear.
buying it knowing that it may not be a clean title.
But it's not on our back. It's on Silver
Silver
Source.
Source.
Yeah.
All the risk was off us.
The market's not that big for it. We didn't have that many sales that we were making through us.
And Jamie
I'm just
also,
looking for a way to save money.
also you stated that you want to shop the market for other insurance agents. The agency we do have, they do shop the market everywhere to try to get the best deal for us. So they're not just coming here saying, hey, I
Let me
saved you
tell you something. I
$20,000.
don't know if you ever been in business or not.
No, I've never been in business.
Okay, all right. If you stay with the same agent for a long time, for like years and years and years, and you go and you shop somewhere else, you're gonna see that somewhere else, there's a better deal out there.
That's a fact.
Okay? So.
No, I'm just letting you, you say no, you
I'm
say
letting
they
you know
didn't
how
shop,
business operates.
you saying they
Okay?
don't shop, they just bring it to us, no, they do shop. They do
Shop,
shop.
We take-
let's
we
start
take-
But
with
whatever,
they're at the shop
whatever,
agents.
whatever route the jury would like to go, that's fine by me. Got no
We got
doubt.
a time.
We got time for it. I just wanted to put
Well,
that.
no, to Mr. Fonville. What
So,
else you got?
I also got a, oh, you finished?
That should be good.
Motion to
Wait,
deviate.
wait, what about the,
What?
we talked about it at the last meeting, but what are we, about the, residential garbage collection? Are we gonna just,
We're gonna
seek a renewal?
seek a renewal for,
Well, we need to talk about that. We need to bring that up.
let's put that on the.
That's on the next agenda anyway, I think. I think it's on the next agenda anyway.
We'll put it on the list. We're not-
See what we wanna come up with and then we propose it.
Get with Waste Depot. They had hit me up a while back. What they wanted to do. They hit them up. So you have that information.
Well, let's talk about it next meeting and then after that.
Yeah, because we gotta give one of them
We gotta give
90
notice
days.
if we not
90
renewing,
days.
yeah.
So
Yeah, I think it's
March,
waste,
by
waste,
March, have to be done.
Yeah, we're supposed to do the job, for them.
All right, so
motion to deviate.
one item to deviate by Mr. Alcorn.
Yep.
Second by, Mr. Mathern, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? That being the one deviation for a,
Right away signature, that's it.
Right away.
We gotta cut the driveway.
Right away for the road overlay program in Ward,
Nine, Ward 9.
and I believe the landowner
Where's
is
that?
already.
And it's already, being reviewed by Mr. Calabro, signed by the landowner. And we just, need a motion to let the president sign.
there's a motion to deviate for a right-of-way granting on what street?
Cajun.
On Cajun Street. All in favor?
Oh, you got it.
Any public comment? First call, second call, last call, any opposed? Motion carried. Motion adjourned by Mr. Diaz, second by Mr. Carter, all in favor? Opposed?
Justin.
Thank
Who
you
made
all,
that motion?
gentlemen.